library friends. Lyn the Librarian here today, and I am going to spend some time reading you another fun story. But you know what's just right around the corner, and I just want to tell you a little bit about it because the story kind of lends itself to it, is Thanksgiving is next week. And I know a lot of people celebrate holidays in a different way, and they make all sorts of different kinds of foods. And that's what we're going to celebrate here in the Ashland Library today. We're going to celebrate foods from around the world. And this is just one book with one certain food with a girl named Amy Wu, and she wants to make the perfect bao. And I bet you don't know what that is, but we're going to find out when I read this story. So let's just get started, okay? Amy can do a lot of things. She can brush her teeth. She can tie her shoe. She can even do both at once, sort of. That looks a little awkward, but she can do it. But there's one thing Amy cannot do. She cannot make the perfect bao. Sometimes they come out too small, sometimes they come out too big. Sometimes she adds too much filling, sometimes not enough. And sometimes they fall apart before they reach her mouth. Amy's mom and dad make perfect bao. So does her grandma. Their bao are soft and fluffy and so delicious. Amy could eat them all day, and sometimes she does. Today, Amy is going to do it. She's going to make the world's most perfect bao. Bao making is an all-day event, and so she has to lay out her plan and get started. Amy's dad starts in the morning mixing together the ingredients for the dough. Then it's time to knead. He pushes the dough, he punches the dough. Amy gives it a try too. Then they leave the dough to rise. Amy keeps an eye on it just in case it grows bigger and bigger and even bigger. Amy's dad squishes the dough just in time. He rolls it into a log and cuts it into pieces. Meanwhile, Amy's mom seasons meat for the filling, and she puts things like garlic in it, and mushrooms, and ginger, and pepper. Doesn't that sound good? Everyone gathers around the table and rolls up their sleeves. It's time to get started making the dough, the bao. And Amy's first bao turns out a little funny. So does the second. It's hard to know how much filling to add. Too little and the bao is sad and empty. Too much and oops. It's also hard to pinch the bao shut just right. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Amy watches her mom make a perfect bao. She watches her dad make a perfect bao, and her grandma too. They all try to teach her. Roll out the dough like this, says her dad. Use just enough filling, says her mom. Pinch, 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 says her grandma. But Amy's bao just aren't the same. They're too empty or too fat, or they have holes in them and they leak. Maybe today won't be the day after all. Maybe Amy just can't make a perfect bao. She looks very sad about that. Then Amy has an idea. The pieces of dough were cut for grown-up hands. But Amy's hands are very small. She whispers her idea in her grandma's ear. Amy's grandma cut each piece of dough into 2 smaller pieces, Amy-sized pieces. Now they fit perfectly in Amy's hands. That was a brilliant idea. Amy carefully rolls the dough so it's thicker on the inside and thinner at the edges. She adds just the right amount of filling. She pinches it shut. And there it is, Amy's perfect bao. Yay, Amy. She makes another and even more after that. She is a bao making master. Yay! Soon all the dough and filling are gone. Everyone is tired, but they're not done yet. Amy's grandma boils a big pot of water. It's time to steam the bao. Amy keeps an eye on the steamer, just in case. All of her perfect bao, and all the imperfect ones too, are snug inside. The bao are done. Amy's mom lifts the lid off the steamer and whoosh! Out comes a puff of steam and Amy can't see anything at all. The steam clears. There are Amy's perfect bao. They're not too small. They're not too big. They have just the right amount of filling and they do not leak. They are soft and fluffy and so delicious. Amy eats one, then another. She eats one of the not so perfect bao, and you know what? It tastes just as good. And there she is at school. She brought a whole box of bao to share with her classmates. And at the end of this book, here's a recipe to make your own bao, which leads me to our take and make we're giving out this week. We are going to give you all the supplies you need to make this really neat cookbook all your own. And in the cookbook, Griffin has done a favor and taken several books that we have in the library, and we were able to take the recipes from those books and add them to your cookbook. But we also left pages for you to add your own favorite recipes. So this recipe is actually in the Take and Make Kit cookbook that you're going to put together. So if you feel excited about making it, there you go. And this is the Take and Make, and it shows you that it's got everything you need to make your own cookbook. And the pages, let's see if I can show you the pages. And the pages for you to fold up and put in too. So I also have a blog post coming out that'll show you the step-by-step instructions for making this cookbook. And if you can't make it to the Ashland Library, it's okay, because these pages are also included in my blog post. So anywhere you live, you can make your very own cookbook. How cool is that? All right, it's been lovely spending this time with you today, but now it's time for our goodbye song. Are you ready? Here we go. See you later, alligator, in a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug, blow a kiss, a jellyfish. See you soon, big baboon, out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear, wave goodbye, butterfly. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.